All right, let's talk about a T20 match that really had it all. A batting masterclass, a total collapse, and then, out of nowhere, one of the most incredible counterattacks you will ever see. Today, we're going to break down how the fourth T20I between India and New Zealand went from what looked like a complete blowout to an absolutely unforgettable one-man epic. It all started with this number, 216. That's the mountain New Zealand put up, leaving India with a massive task in front of a packed-out Vizag stadium. Right from ball one of the chase, the pressure was immense. And that's really what the whole game boiled down to, right? With their backs completely against the wall, wickets just tumbling, could one person's heroic performance actually be enough to pull off a miracle? This is where the story gets really interesting. So let's back up. How in the world did New Zealand get to such a massive total? Well, this wasn't just a few good overs of batting. This was a calculated demolition of the Indian bowling attack, and it started from the very beginning. I mean, the speed of it was just staggering. The Kiwi openers, Tim Seifert and Devon Conway, they raced to a 100-run partnership in less than 9 overs. Seifert, in particular, was just brutal, smashing a half-century in only 25 balls. They absolutely owned the power play, setting the stage for that enormous score. So while the bowlers were getting hammered, there was one Indian player who was having a pretty much perfect night out in the field. As the ball kept going up in the air, one guy just seemed to be everywhere, giving India its only real moments of control.
And yeah, that man was Rinku Singh. He took 4 catches, tying the Indian record for an outfielder in a T20 International. He was like a magnet out there in the deep, and his safe hands were what finally sent both of New Zealand's dangerous openers back to the dugout. Okay, so the stage is set. India needs 216 to win. You'd think, all right, this is going to be a thrilling chase. Well, it started out as anything but. It was a story of despair, really, before it turned into an unbelievable show of defiance. The chase began like a total nightmare. Abhishek Sharma, gone on the very first ball. The captain, Suryakumar Yadav, followed him in the second over. And before you could even blink, by the 9th over, Sanju Samson and Hardik Pandya were also out. The entire top order, just gone. So by the time Rinku Singh was dismissed just past the halfway mark, India was reeling at 82 for 5. The game looked completely over, the required run rate was soaring above 14 an over, and that packed Vizag crowd, you could hear a pin drop. But then, something absolutely extraordinary happened. With the game all but lost, one player decided, you know what, I'm going to go down swinging. And in doing so, he almost pulled off the impossible. Welcome to the Shivam Dube Show. It all started here. 15. Just think about that for a second. That's how many balls it took Shivam Dube to get to his 50. It was just a blistering, almost unbelievable assault that came out of a totally hopeless situation. And what was his weapon of choice? Just raw, brute power. He launched an incredible 7 sixes during this short, brutal innings. I mean, he was clearing the ropes with ease and sending this jolt of pure electricity through that stunned stadium. Now, the absolute peak of this storm came in a single over from the leg spinner Ish Sodhi. Dube just went berserk, plundering 29 runs with 3 massive 6s and 2 4s. In just 6 balls, he single-handedly dragged an impossible required rate right back into the realm of possibility. And just to put this into perspective, Dube's 15-ball 50 is the 3rd fastest ever for India in T20s. That puts him in the same conversation as the legendary Yuvraj Singh. We're talking that kind of territory here. This wasn't just a fun little cameo. It was a record-breaking performance. But then, just as it felt like a miracle was on the cards, the innings came to the absolute cruelest of ends. A straight drive from his partner just clipped the bowler's hand, deflected onto the stumps, and Dube was caught inches short. You couldn't write a more unlucky way to get out. A freak dismissal for a phenomenal innings. And with Dube gone, you could just feel the fight go out of the Indian chase. So let's take a look at how the match officially wrapped up. In the end, the final margin was a pretty big one. A 50-run victory for New Zealand. India was bowled out for 165, falling well short. Despite Dube's incredible heroics, that early damage was just too much to come back from. And when you look at the top performers, the story of the match is right there in black and white. For New Zealand, Seifert set the tone with the bat, and their captain, Mitchell Santner, was absolutely clinical with the ball. And for India,
It was Shivam Dube's 65 off just 23 balls, standing out as this lone, brilliant act of defiance.
Which leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? Dube's incredible innings didn't get his team the win, but what does it really mean? Is this a glimpse of a future star, a guy who can win matches for India on his own? Or is it just a powerful reminder that cricket, at the end of the day, is a team game, and even the most spectacular individual performance can't always do it alone?